So MrBeast's new theme park, Beastland, is currently under fire because people are making allegations of it being connected to slave labor. It also has a bit of a wacky FAQ on their website, and I guess we can just get right into it. Now, there was this clickbait article floating around saying, breaking, slave labor linked to construction of MrBeast's Beastland in Saudi Arabia, and I don't think that this pamphlet's website is a really reliable source, but I do think that this walk-free site is a pretty reliable source that claims that modern slavery is existent in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has the highest prevalence of modern slavery of all countries in the Arab states region. Migrant workers who comprise the majority of the workforce are particularly vulnerable under the kafala system, a restrictive work permit system that ties migrant workers to their employer. Now, this is coming from the Council on Foreign Relations that says the kafala system is a legal framework that has for decades been defined as the relationship between migrant workers and their employers in Jordan, Lebanon, and all Arab Gulf states but Iraq. It was created to supply cheap, plentiful labor in an era of booming economic growth, and its defenders argue that it benefits local businesses and helps drive development. The lack of regulations and protections for migrant workers, though, often results in low wages, poor working conditions, and employee abuse. Racial discrimination and gender-based violence are endemic. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, it even says, under this system, the state gives local individuals or companies sponsorship permits to employ foreign laborers, except in Bahrain, where workers are sponsored by a government agency rather than individual employers. The sponsor covers travel expenses and provides housing, often in dorm-like accommodations or, in the case of domestic workers, the sponsor's home. Rather than hiring an individual directly, sponsors sometimes use private recruitment agencies in the countries of origin to find workers and facilitate their entry to the host country. Now, surely you can understand how this kind of sounds like something the United States had a long time ago. We had something called, the African slave trade and whatnot. We also had something where called indentured servitude, where basically people were able to work under somebody unpaid, but it was almost like a trade-off. Like, well, you're welcome to come to our country. You're welcome to be here in this amazing land, which at that time was America. Kind of seems like if you just replace America with Saudi Arabia, you have a indentured servitude back again, just with extra steps. Now, would it surprise me that if Beastland had that going on? Quite frankly, would not, considering the fact that it's in Saudi Arabia. And again, I don't think that MrBeast himself came out of pocket to build this thing. If anything, it's just a collaboration between him and some of the wealthiest people of that country. Now, would it surprise me if the wealthiest people of that country did whatever they could to save the most money? And if that happens to be indentured servitude with extra steps, it doesn't surprise me. Now, back to the Beastland website. If you scroll down to the terms and conditions, this is literally on like the first page of their site. You have like pretty basic things for what you would see at a typical theme park or amusement park, basically saying like, if you get injured or something, right, it's your responsibility to an extent. You can't do this. If you break the rules, we'll kick you out and you won't get a refund, blah, blah, blah. But we do have a few interesting ones. Like purchasing a ticket does not guarantee the holder the ability to participate in all games or rides, which again is a little vague. Surely you can think that means like, well, yeah, just because you bought the ticket doesn't mean you're like entitled to ride every ride. Like, surely if you've been to Disney World before, you can't get on every ride because there's quite a lot of rides and there's quite a lot of people. So you just kind of got to work with what you can do. But it also kind of leaves it up in the air that, considering Mr. Jimmy's behind all this, let's say he wants to make a video using a certain ride and you happen to be there that certain day, they can basically deny you from using half of the park because Jimmy needs that half of the park for his video, which to me seems just a little unfair. It also mentions here that early arrival is a must. The organizer shall have the right to refuse any late entries, and the ticket holder shall not have the right to claim for a refund of the ticket price or any compensation. Again, very vague. What do they mean by that? Early arrival. Like, yes, if you buy a ticket to be at the park from 6 p.m. to midnight, Does that mean if I come at 7 p.m. am I late? Does that mean if I don't come at 5:55 that I'm not early enough and I basically just wasted my money? Again, very vague, and it's a very interesting wording. Again, maybe I'm just not used to like the cultural differences, and maybe a lot of other events in Saudi Arabia are kind of like this as well, but it's just very interesting. Number 8 even says, in case of leaving the venue, you are not allowed to return. So, like, if I get sick and I have to just go take a break, or if I have to go do something, like, let's say something happens where I have to leave the park or leave the event for some reason, I'm not allowed to come back, even though I'm a paying customer. Again, this entire Beastland is just confusing because in my mind, I thought this was like a theme park. I didn't think it was like a concert or like a event where you just kind of like a one-time thing. Like it's kind of like a theme park. Like you come in, you ride the rides, you can go leave, and you can come back when you're bored. And again, we have like pretty basic stuff. Like if you bring in bags, they're gonna search them. You can't bring in food. Animals are allowed. And then number 12 is a little confusing too. No professional cameras and video recorders. Very vague again, like video recorders. My phone has a video recorder on it. I wouldn't say it's a professional camera, or do they mean no professional video recorders? Like, of course, I can't bring in a camera that's the size of my arm and carrying it around with me. I don't think any park would allow that. But am I not allowed to bring in my phone? If you guys don't know, Saudi Arabia has like very specific laws, very punishing laws related to photography and videos. So it wouldn't baffle me if they just completely did not allow you to bring in a phone or anything that can record. Now, again, number 12 says the organizer accepts no liability for bodily injury, illness, or death of any visitor, including ticket holder and or loss of or damage to personal effects arising out of or in connection with the event. Again, a little iffy on that one because, for example, if you go to Disney World and I jump out of a roller coaster, that's my L, right? Like that's my fault. I did that. But let's say I'm on the roller coaster and the thing opens and I go flying out. That's Disney World's fault. That's not my fault, right? Let's say I'm walking and Mr. Beastland head comes flying down and just knocks me out, and I wake up in heaven. That's not my fault. And to say that the organization has no liability whatsoever for a horrific accident like that is baffling. Again, this is in Saudi Arabia, one of the richest countries in the world, and if you get injured based on something that may be wrong with their attraction, with their rides, it's your fault, bro. You should have been there. You should have been fixing the bolts. They have all that slave labor. You might as well freaking clocked in and got to work for free, but I guess not. And last but not least, number 20 says adherence to the rules of public taste in line with the culture, values, and tradition of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Basically saying that if you're coming to Saudi Arabia, coming to Beast Land, you have to comply with their laws. Pretty common sense, right? They're a bit of a more conservative country in terms of like apparel rules. You can't be making out in public. You can't have loud music. You can't interrupt people or have music playing during prayer or things like that. You have to wear certain clothing. But it does just get a little iffy because this is right here from the Visit Saudi Visa website. Violations to public decency and penalties. And this is pretty much their 19 like sins, right? Like if you do any of these things, it's game over. It's Jover. Some are pretty honestly understandable. Indecent behavior, including sexual nature. Yeah, leave that at home. Leave that in the bedroom, right? Playing music in high volume, that's pretty good too. You might keep out like the Johnny Somalis out, some of the crazies, if you just go ahead and implement a rule like that. And then we get to number 19, which again is probably the most important one. Taking pictures or videos without permission, people, traffic accidents, crimes, or other incidents. One incident of that is a $1,000 fine, and then the multiple is a $2,000 fine, and pictures and videos taken shall be deleted. So again, that kind of makes me think you just can't have cameras at that Beastland event. It's going to be kind of like going to a comedy show or like a concert or something. You ever been to one of those and they give you that little sleeve and you put your phone in and it pretty much locks for 2 hours? It sucks. I couldn't imagine being at Beastland for, 5, 6, 7 hours. How long is it from 6 to midnight? 6 hours, right? You can't be in Beastland for 6 hours. You can't even look at your phone or use it. That's at least what I'm thinking here, because again, taking pictures and videos of people is a crime in their country. Having a video camera is also not allowed at Beastland. Leaving the premises, let's say you have to go check your phone or go look at your phone, you can't come back. So it's a really tight-knit thing. Like they really want to keep whatever secrets are inside there from getting out. Of course, I'm sure MrBeast is going to have 20 minutes of, or 20 videos worth of like Beastland behind the scenes, or like edit it to like make it like cool for his channel and whatnot. But the fact that people won't be able to go and like record their own experiences with it is kind of worrying. Now, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys watching, as always. Thank you guys. Let me know what you think down below of some of these interesting rules. Again, oopsie on me for not even checking out the FAQ. I kind of just assumed this was like any theme park, any type of event where you just kind of buy a ticket and you show up and have a good time. Not really thinking like, oh crap, I forgot. This is in Saudi Arabia, a place that's not exactly known for, again, paid labor. They seems like they have a lot of people that are going unpaid over there, and it seems like they also have a lot of rules regarding classified information, whatever that may be, right? You can't really record a lot of things. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. This is pretty wacky, pretty crazy. As always, I'll keep you updated on the Beastland drama. Whenever there's one injury, if I see anything break, it's coming your way, my friends. Peace out.